and it just swings one way and then the other. Liverpool next weekend will play first on Saturday morning. Manchester City play Saturday evening. Are we getting to the stage where any fine margin, any psychological edge could be crucial?
Yeah, listen, it's advantageous to play first if you win first. Put the pressure on the opponents. But now it's just going to be a ding-dong, isn't it? Right the way to the end of the season. There's just no slip-ups in these two teams. We're seeing, we've said it before, two of the best teams we've ever seen in the Premier League. And if anybody makes one slip-up, I'm convinced that the other team are going to pounce and go away and win the league. So no room for mistakes. That was a tough one out the way there. I thought Everton played pretty well, considering they're a team right down near the bottom of the league. They give Liverpool more problems than a lot of teams that have come to Anfield recently. And
although it's a defeat, is it important to remember that and try and take some of that for Everton's remaining games here?
Yeah, I mean, I would expect that to be the blueprint for the game coming up against Chelsea next week, to play from a good shape, stop the distances, make sure that you counter-attack very well and show that much commitment, because Everton, as we said, were very much in that game, more so than I've seen a number of teams at Anfield, and went about it the right way. So there are a few positives to take forward in the remaining games of the season and what are very, very difficult times.
How pivotal do you think was the double substitution that Jurgen Klopp made? Everyone expected Diaz to come on, but Origi in particular.
Yeah, I was exactly the same. I thought Diaz is going to come on, and I didn't think... I thought Origi might come on 70, 75, something like that. It just shows you how important a big squad is. It shows you how important keeping everybody fit is, and even more important, keeping everybody happy. As I just touched on before, if I was a centre-forward and every time I came on, I kept scoring goals and digging the team out of a hole, and then I hardly play at all season, then I come on again, to have that inside you, to give your manager a bit, I'd be saying, I'm saying, now play me more, look what I can do. But the relationship between the manager and all the players is just extraordinary, really. And it's great management, it's great man management, it's great timing of the substitutes. And they certainly made a difference. They certainly. You
could argue if Firmino was fit, Origi wouldn't have been in the thought process today as well.
Exactly, yeah. And Diaz, let's not forget, Diaz made a big impression as well with the assist of the second goal. But Origi is the thorn in the side of Everton on quite a few occasions, and of course he's done it again now.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go back live to Anfield, where one of the goal scorers, I'm delighted to say, is waiting to speak to us. Andy Robertson.
Hi guys, you okay?
There he is. Good to see you. Well done. How deep did you have to dig today?
Yeah, pretty deep. First half, I think we didn't quite get in the rhythm we wanted to. Got caught up with them probably too much, played into their hands a wee bit. But second half, I thought we came out, played our own game, and the first goal is always crucial in these games. And I think after that, we took control of the game.
We've just been discussing here in the studio that double change the manager made of Diaz and Divock Origi seemed to change your mentality, but also Everton's.
Yeah, look, Diaz is. He's been unbelievable since he's came in. The impact he's had on the squad, the way he plays is different, and he's been exceptional. And Divock. Big game. He's a big game player, especially against Everton. I think his record's unbelievable, and I think when he came on, I just think the kind of mood changed in here. I thought Anfield just believed Divock was going to score, and that's the kind of attitude you have around him. So fantastic player, unbelievable, and so happy for him to get his goal as well.
And Divock had a hand in your goal, the all-important goal, really, to break the deadlock. What was that like, adrenaline rush-wise, in front of the Kop in a derby?
Yeah, unbelievable. My first ever goal at the Kop. Don't score many, so it was an incredible feeling. Scoring in a derby is good enough, but at the Kop end it doesn't get much better than that. And after that it was just we need to win this game. We need to focus and win the game, and luckily then we got the second goal, and a massive 3 points for us.
And that's a big moment for a Liverpool player in a game of that importance against this opposition, to see you react like that. That's right up there, isn't it?
Yeah, look, I've been waiting a long time to score a goal at that end. You know, any goal I've scored at Anfield, not that there's been many, up Anfield Road. So, you know, incredible feeling scoring in front of the Kop. And hopefully there's a couple more to come. Hopefully I don't need to wait another 5 years for another one. But, you know, like I said, I'm just happy to contribute to the team.
Andy, it's Michael Owen. I just wanted to understand what it is about Jurgen Klopp, how he can have such a great relationship. You see Divock Origi and him sort of embracing afterwards. To keep somebody on side that he rarely plays, what does he do? What's special about the man to have such a good relationship with all the players?
Look, it's, you know, we've got such a good, you know, we've got such a good squad, you know, and there's quality players getting left at home, and there's quality players not getting as much game time as they want. You know, Divock probably falls into that category, but you know, when he comes on the park, he always delivers, and so does all the boys. You know, when called upon, the lads always deliver, and it's down to, you know, the manager and the staff. You know, you know, you've been in squads before. It's impossible to keep, you know, your whole squad, you know, so happy with you. There's always people knocking on his door, wanting more game time and things like that. But you know, we have a real good squad in terms of attitude. When we do cross the white lines, we give it all for each other. And yeah, he's instilled that into the whole club. So we all just feed off that, and then, you know, the boys, like I said, when called upon, always show up and always deliver and always have that determination to try and do well for the other lads.
15 points left to play for. You're back to 1. There's some race this, isn't it?
Yeah, look, obviously they went first this weekend. I think we go first next weekend with the early kick-off, and you know, that's obviously going to be a quick turnaround, but we'll focus on that when it comes to it. But you know, hopefully, you know, it stays like that. It's always going to be tight. It's always going to be, you know, it's going to be close. Two fantastic teams. You know, they know how to break down most teams. You've seen that yesterday with Watford. But we both have tough games coming up. We need to keep trying to win. We're playing against teams that have got things to fight for, and you know, like today, and we just need to try and keep churning out 3 points. And if we do that, then, you know, come the end of May, let's see where we're at. Indeed,
and particularly at Anfield. I mean, this record now of 12 consecutive wins there.
Yeah, look, your home record's always crucial. You know, we've been good on the road as well, to be fair to us, but your home games are always crucial. You always want to win them when you've got your fans on side, and you know, I thought the fans created a fantastic atmosphere today, especially in the second half. Really drove us on. We know they can be nervous at times. You know, we felt that a wee bit first half, but you know, second half they got right behind us and really pushed us to victory. So hopefully the home game run continues. Hopefully the away game run continues, because we need to win every game. We can't slip up, and you know, we just need to keep going, and what will be will be.
Well done today, Andy Robertson, Derby Day goal scorer. Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds great. Thank you very much.
No problem at all.
Bye-bye.
Andy Robertson live at Anfield. I mean, he's right there, isn't he, when everyone's going to play their part, if they are going to get, you know, 2, 3, 4 trophies this season. Origi's a perfect example of that.
Exactly, yeah. And I mentioned before the game the importance of having everybody fit. At this stage of the season, middle of April, to have everybody fit, bar Firmino, but he's going to be back at the next game, I would have thought, is a brilliant position to be in. He's an embarrassment of riches, what players to play, and the ones that he doesn't play, he can bring them on to change the game. So it's Jurgen Klopp couldn't have put himself in a better position than he is at the moment.
What did you say to me when Divock Origi came on?
Oh no, he scores in Champions League finals and against Everton. That's Divock Origi, and you just
6
knew
in 10 in the derby.
Yeah, you just knew when he was coming on that he'd probably have a big part to play in this game. He always just gets into these positions inside the 6-yard box, centre of goal, and when there may be occasions where Mo Salah may pull out to positions, Diaz pulls out into positions, he doesn't. He just gets right in the middle of the goal where most goals are scored and gets on the end of those chances, and invariably the Everton defenders just lose track of him momentarily and he gets his goal.
I just love it when defenders stand sleeping and attackers are the ones that are moving. You know, we're optimists. Defenders have got to be pessimists, haven't they? But he's the only one moving. I mean, to be fair, Fabinho behind him potentially would have mopped it up if he didn't. But you see Michael Keane there, he was stood ball watching, and Origi was beat him to it.
Have a look at some of these figures here for Divock Origi, because, as I say, he hasn't appeared much this season, certainly, and in seasons gone by. But since 18-19, look at some of the big goals he scored. The derbies, that crucial one that year at Newcastle. How can anyone forget the semi-final against Barcelona, the final against Spurs, and more derby games. And this season as well, when they were struggling at Molineux, at Wolves. In fact, Michael, he has appeared off the bench in the Premier League this season. He hasn't started a game on only 6 occasions, including today. And in 3 of those 6, including today, he scored. So give us an insight how difficult that is. That is hardly any game time in the Premier League. He's not starting any, and yet he's scoring big goals.
The easy bit is actually, if you're in a rhythm, the easy bit is coming on and making an impact as a substitute. Everybody's tiring. It's a free punch. That's the easy bit. The hard bit is the never playing bit, because you get out of a rhythm.
Here for 2 months off the bench. That's what I'm saying.
You get out of a rhythm. Your mindset is not playing. It's just, you go to bed on a Friday and you don't even expect to play. And it's all right saying, I always expect everybody should, you always should do. But your brain you can't compute that. If you just keep doing the right things and keep eating the right food and going to bed at the right time and training perfectly, and you keep getting disappointed every single weekend, something switches off at some point. For him to stay at that level and that sharpness, and every single time he gets called upon, he comes on and makes a difference, is quite staggering, really. He doesn't lose his fitness, he doesn't lose his sharpness, he doesn't lose anything.
His appetite.
His appetite to do it, and his attitude as well. Because as I said earlier, if I kept coming on and kept scoring and kept being brushed aside again and not starting and not playing and hardly getting brought on for the next games, I'd start getting a bit sickened by it. I'd start losing a bit of will to live type of thing. So fair play to him, great attitude, and he's made the difference. That Wolves goal this season was huge because that was late on. And of course, to break the deadlock as well, have a hand in the first goal to seal the game today, another big moment for him. Just
sometimes, particularly on derby days, players like Divock Origi coming on today, and he's probably thinking, I've done this before against Everton. This is my stage. I can do this again.
Yeah, you definitely get a feel for those kind of things. You just feel that the moment's right. Well, you've done it before. Things are always expected to fall into place. And it does seem that when the Merseyside derby comes around, his chest comes out. He seems to get that look in his eye that today's going to be his day. And they always say, the players, when they're being interviewed, that he's a big game player, that he steps up in the moments, and he has a calmness about him that not all players have. And he shows it in the big games.
And as we're seeing at the moment, in every competition, Liverpool have a long list now of big game players, don't they?
Yeah, and match winners, match game changers from the bench. They've got everything. And I would never have said that a few years ago. I mean, you look at the front three, for example, it is Firmino, Salah and Mane, and Origi would come off the bench. Now they've got, Jota, Diaz to add to that equation. And then, so Origi's almost 6th choice as attacking players at the moment. But when you've got such depth, again, we touched on it before the game, Liverpool, they've built this squad now that is as strong as anybody's. It used to be quite thin on the ground. I mean, they had a few injuries last season, and all of a sudden, the house started crumbling around them, really. But 1 or 2 signings, keeping everybody fit, and it just shows you what a powerful squad can do.